Hi guys, Dr. Millie here. I'm just trying to figure out how to go live. I really want it to happen. I've been working on it and I see that I have lots of angel dust around me. So this is my first time really successfully going live, and I wish that I could. Anyway, I'm getting a tripod on Monday. It should be here on Monday, if not Wednesday. And so I'll be set up better so that I can bring things to you. But I was walking in Prospect Park yesterday in Brooklyn, and I had a epiphany. And I wanted to say a couple of things because many people have been talking about how this is the new world, this is the new life. And when I was thinking about, okay, well, what's over? What's exactly over? Because life is a journey, and obviously, maybe there's new timelines opening up to us, or maybe there's new parallel universes opening up, and I can accept that because I think that I have been experiencing those crossing over of timelines, and probably many of you have as well. And I would love to hear about any of those experiences, but certainly forgetting when putting something down and forgetting, and then it not being there, or making a plan, putting it in my calendar and not being in my calendar. Just different little examples that pop up in life that have been shown to me to be signs that timelines are changing. And I want to help you figure it out as to what's over for you, because endings can be very traumatic. They can be very jarring and confusing, and then we don't know what to do afterwards. And so really what's over now is, this download came to me that it's the past that's over. It's the past, guys. It's easier now to let go of traumas from the past, from triggering moments, from people who bug you or bother you, from lovers who have left you, from twin flame separations. It's easier now to jump over that hurdle and make it fresh again, make it new. And so this is what's going on right now. And so I just wanted to do a bit of a reading as to how we can be healthy through this time, because my primary focus is how to be healthy in the spirit, how to be healthy in the body, how to be healthy in the mind. But instead of using a variety of decks today, because I've already done the weekly general reading on how to be healthy, I'm just going to pull for this moment today Stephen D. Farmer's Earth Magic cards, because that really helps us key into our ancestors and key into unfoldment, the lotus flower. And so this is all about, there's more than meets the eye. So what you see is this beautiful flower, but the lotus blooms at night. And so there's a lot happening under, a lot has to happen in the dark. A lot has to happen under the radar in order for this to bloom, this beautiful flower to bloom. So so there's things going on right now behind the scenes that we don't see. And we have to trust to know that even though we are putting things down, we have to put things down, and it's easy right now to do so, and yet there's a lot that we can't be seen. So we have to trust that. And another thing that came to me, guys, is that there's been a lot of readers and psychics and everything, and messing with energies of mediumship. And that's really scary, guys, because we don't actually know who we're coming in contact with, unless somebody's very talented, very experienced, really, actually. But even still, you know, when you're watching somebody go through like a channeling or something, and then this really creepy feeling comes up. You know, I turn that off when that happens, because you don't want to come in contact with dark energies. You don't want to come in contact with dark entities. And dark entities are excellent and expert at making you believe that they're good when they're really not. And so we have to be careful, especially, you know, now that Neptune is conjuncting Saturn, and maybe we are confusing reality and the imaginary. We have to be very, especially as psychics, as we're awakening, or as empaths or intuitives, we have to be very careful about what energies we're channeling and what energies we're tapping into, because it's not always good. It can be right for 9/10 of it, and then the last 1/10 is yucky. And I'm very sensitive when that happens. And even some of my favorite readers, like even some of my favorite astrologers and psychics on YouTube, end up channeling into some dark energies, and what they're saying is just not resonating. So I just want to let you know that it's all within you. It's all within your psyche. And yes, of course, I believe in God, and I believe in, you know, the dark side of the light and the occult, and that we have to embrace our shadow to some extent, but we don't have to embrace other entities or even tap into them or mess with them in order to be able to transition ourselves. Because really what it's all about is transitioning ourselves so that we are healthy from a mental place, we are healthy spiritually, we're healthy physically, so that we can ascend properly. And yes, everybody wants to know and break down and know your guides, and not everybody's meant to know your guides. Not everybody is meant. It depends on your astrology, right? Like, it depends on if it's available in your chart. Like, I've had glimpses of my past life. Like, I know that I'm very, for instance, commitment phobic about, you know, all these, being a twin flame. I've had a lot of relationships that have not been possible in my past life. Like, you know, it's never been possible with my twin flame in the past. And I don't even think it's possible in this life. At least it's not right now, right? So, so I know those things, but I don't know, and I have caught glimpses of past lives, but they're not something that I remember really readily, and they're not something that I'm really meant to remember readily, and not everybody is meant to remember. And so we shouldn't just go digging around into the darkness, fumbling, even if we're being guided there by somebody who has a talent for it, because you don't really know what you're conjuring up. And especially when the answers are all inward, they're all with you. That's why I use hypnosis. That's why I use instant healing. That's why I use techniques that don't need to go to, you don't need to seek it from guides who are not just popping up for you easily, brightly, energetically, enthusiastically. If you're not at that place where you can meet your guides, then maybe that's okay. You know, like, you can do a lot of work on yourself. You can do a lot of work with your intuition, tuning in. There's a lot we can do in the 3D world. This is where we actually live. And yes, you know, this veil is thinning between the third and the fifth, but it's also that serves a purpose, because in order for us to have a mission, and trust me, I'm a Pisces, guys, like, I know what it feels like to, and I'm a Pisces conjunct Jupiter. And so I am a very expansive, you know, empath, healer, and it is my work, because those are found in my 10th house. And so, and then my, you know, my Chiron is conjunct my Venus, conjunct my moon, so in my 11th house. You know, so I am a spiritual leader. I am a work on it myself, and I do have, you know, an educated background. And so anyway, I'm not saying that everybody needs an educated background, but I am saying that I help people because I am a master in my field of naturopathic medicine, and then additionally, I'm going through my own spiritual awakenings. And this is something that has taken me a long time to accept, that I have to put out there, and that I have to, and even though, you know, this is my first time on this live channeling, and nobody is watching, and that's fine. And whatever's meant to be will be, you know, and that's the same thing in your life. Like, whatever's meant to be will be. And it doesn't mean that you be complacent. It means that you actually go for your life, and that's true. And if you don't have a passion yet, then it's true that you just do something so that you can, your passion will come to you. You can nourish your passion by doing something with your life. But if you do have a passion, then you also want to go towards that and move towards that. And the answers are all within yourself, guys. So not everybody can meditate. Some people meditate, some people don't. Some people receive information. Some people, you go on walks or you exercise, but you clear your head somehow. Like, what is the way you clear your head? And when you clear your head, you listen. You listen for epiphanies, like you wait for it. You can't force it to happen. You can't force it to be there. You can't will it to happen. If you will it to happen, then something bad can come out of that. It's not necessarily information that, if you go digging for information, then you'll find some kind of information. It might not be information that's very helpful or healing, because that's what's the most important. And the new world is here. It is a new reality for us. We do have to expect the unexpected, but while working on ourselves in the 3D, by engaging in our lives, by meeting friends, by letting go, by making decisions and releasing and accepting the past being in the past, and actually embracing the past being in the past. Embracing the past being in the past, that we no longer have to relive those traumas, that we live those traumas and we've learned from those, and now maybe we have to wait for new information to come in. Maybe you feel like you're in a holding zone, but if you are in a holding zone and you're aware and you're accepting and you're working on yourself, so to speak, then it will come and you'll know when it's here. So there is a lot blossoming, and it's about being grateful, and it's about and of course you know that. And the way that we put the past in the past, I do help people go into their Akashic records in hypnosis, because the answers are all there within yourself. That's where the 99% of our brain that we're not using, that's where it is. It's within ourself. If you want to be smarter, if you want to be more quick thinking, if you want to be more effective, if you want to be more transformed, if you want to be more releasing, more in the flow, you can ask. You can ask for God, the universe, to show you things. You can start paying attention more to the signs and embracing more of what is in your physical reality. And it's not that seeing is believing. Like the lotus flower, there's a whole lot you don't see here. Like you see this beautiful flower on top, but it takes a whole lot of root systems into the water, digging down into the slime and the muck in order to provide the nutrients for that lotus flower to blossom. And so we got the crystals card to focus. So you want to focus on what you want. And you've probably already made this decision, and you should have made this decision already about what you want your future to look like, what you want for yourself. And you can put practical things into place. Like for instance, if it's money that you want, then you make a decision as to, okay, how much money do you need to make? And then break it down as to if you have programs, or if you have, a job or a moonlighting gig, or, a skincare business on the side. We all have those businesses, right? I have those businesses too. And I love them, and they give so much. perspective, guys, the Milky Way. So you've got to know that you are, you've got to know that you are just a speck. You're an individual in a greater cause. You're an individual in a greater universe. And while you have focus and you know, use the third eye in order to see what is not there, but what you want to be there, focus on getting that. Break it down strategically, you know, get a business coach, get a life coach if you need one. Doing that will give you a different perspective too on whether it's realistic that your goals are accomplished this year or in 5 years or in 12 years. You never know, windfalls can happen, and that's obviously, we gratefully accept those, but we can't be relying on those. We can't expect those to happen. And if you are giving up a lot for what you want right now, if you are sacrificing, then just be aware that you are sacrificing, and this is the time you want to sacrifice, because there's so many blessings. And so these are beautiful cards, guys. We've got lotus, flower, unfoldment, crystals, focus, Milky Way perspective, rainbow blessings. And this is how to let the past go. All of us are constantly re-triggering ourselves by thinking about the past constantly. And while, of course, you know, I believe that with therapy, there's a point to that, and that can really help us get to understand and know ourselves better. If we're constantly going back to those, you know, and rehashing, then we're not really able to move on, right? So even if you do go back, then you want to go back to it for a healing reason. So actually, let's just do an instant healing technique right now, because, and only do this if you're willing to go back to have an experience of change, guys, because, and this is for the general collective, and so I'm going to do this, and this is part of what I do with people in meditation and in hypnosis. And so sit with your feet flat on the floor, get into a really comfortable position. And just take note of your breath. When you breathe in four, on a count of 4, very gently, and then allow yourself to breathe out on the count of 4. And when you breathe in all the relaxation. When you breathe out all the tension. And if you're lying down, that's okay too. And just allow yourself to focus on your breath. Nothing else matters. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. And the only anchor really between me, you, and the world is the sound of my voice. Everything else you can just allow yourself to relax and drift off. And if you have any areas of discomfort, then just make note of those by scanning your full body. Any areas of tension that you notice, just breathe in and send some loving oxygen to that place, and allow yourself to breathe out any tense spots and work it out with your breath, sending more loving oxygen on your inhale, and then allowing yourself to release any negativity or any tension on the exhale. And continue to do that. You're getting very relaxed. You might find, if you haven't already, that you want to close your eyes now. And the purpose of this exercise and this technique is to seek healing, because the past is over. But in order for the past to be over, we want to remember a memory from the past, from our childhood, from the recent past, from some past, a memory that was painful, where we felt rejected or abandoned, or something that you're holding on to now and you're unconscious to fall on. And again, we're only following on this memory so that we can heal it, so that we can teach you a technique to heal it. And so you might want to scan the chapters of your mind, scan the pages of the book that you've written so far about your life. And only a memory that's going to be helpful to serve you well will either keep pinging your brain, keep coming back, or if you're still searching, just allow yourself to flip through those pages. Even if you're quite young, you've really created this 20, 30, 40, 50, 60-year book. You might feel it's heavy in your hands, searching for this memory that you haven't been able to let go of. And you land on this memory, and you know which one it is. And you remember how old you were. You can see yourself, what you're wearing, who you're with, and what's going on, what the activity is that's going on in this memory. And even though you're safe and protected in the here and the now, you're re-experiencing this memory. When somebody wasn't there to protect you, when somebody, maybe even the person that you wanted to protect you is the person that's hurting you in this moment. And at the time, you didn't have the resources. Maybe you weren't old enough, or you didn't have the skill set, or you didn't have the wherewithal, or the moment was too tense, or you were too young. You didn't have the skills to protect yourself. But now you do. And so, as your grown self, as yourself now, who has plenty of skills, plenty of nurturing, plenty to offer yourself, want to heal this moment. Give your younger self what she needs this moment. Maybe it's a hug. Maybe it's some kind words. Maybe it's removing yourself from the situation. Maybe it's swiftly removing yourself from the situation, getting picked up, and somebody else is getting their lights punched out and you're being whisked away. Maybe it's simply a stroke on the cheek or a pat on the head or a hug, some kind words. I'm here for you. I love you. I'm going to protect you. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. Just give yourself that. Give your younger self that which you need. And know that this is what you need in order to be soothed. And that you, as you are now, with all the skills that you have in order to heal yourself, can do this anytime, so that you have been protected and saved from this memory that hurt you in some way. You can heal yourself from that memory. And there might be other epiphanies that come from having had this memory, that come now, that come later, that come in the future. And that's okay. You're willing to wait for those if they're coming in the future, if they're not coming now, but you might have some realizations. And this helps you build your intuition about yourself. So what you take back with you, what you bring back with you to this moment as we come back into your body, come back into your fingers and toes and give them a wiggle and give your bottom an adjustment and shake your shoulders out a little bit and come back into the room where you're attached to my voice. You might open your eyes again, or you might stay where you are, remembering what you need to remember and forgetting what you need to forget, but coming back now to this place with better understanding, with a stronger feeling of self-protection, with a stronger feeling of self-healing, with having been through an experience that in the past lingered and now can be healed. And I'd love to work with you more in this way, getting into specific situations so that you can tell me about them. And we can work distally about this, or we can work in the office. And this is just an example of an instant healing technique that I use. And it's a great way to put the past in the past. Because there's so many bottom of the deck waterfall, effortless. There's so many blessings, guys. Sometimes we have to change our perspective and know that we are part of the greater whole. And although bad things have happened to us, bad things have happened to everybody. And it's our job to focus, to allow ourselves to crystallize, to unfold into the universe, the treasures and the jewels from the bad stuff. There's so much nutrition, so much even psychic nutrition, energetic nutrition from our painful experience, guys, from the past. But if we're staying in the past, then we're not able to transform it and transmute it into something that's beautiful and shining in future. New moon promise. New moon promise. The new delivers. Moving forward delivers. Moving forward delivers. Always. You can rely on that, actually. And there's a new moon every 28 days, literally. But every day is a new day. And the sun sets every day and rises again. And every day you get past and move further away from the negative and embrace what you like about your life and what you enjoy about your life, and build from a solid foundation, knowing yourself. And yes, there's ebb and flow, just like the ocean. We can take so much wisdom from nature. Yes, the ocean ebbs and flows. Yes, the tide comes in and out. And we do have to ride the wave, and we do have to surf, the good days and the bad days. But we build. And it's effortless. The water just flows. The energy just comes. And there's so many blessings. And just like we got the new moon, we also get the full moon, completion. Because this is the reality of this time. If we're entering the new world, we can't take it with us. And if you'd like a 10-minute pre-recorded video, then there's a special for $15 in the link below. And if you'd like a longer one, there's a special for 25 minutes in the link below. And I will receive information from my intuition, from my epiphanies, from the cards, from my knowledge of astrology, from my skills as an empath, from my soothing, gentle, healing nature. Because guys, those of us who have been traumatized are the best healers, okay? And you're being offered this gift. You're being offered this gift, so grab it. If it's yours, grab it. That's how you leap into the new world. And you can do that. You don't have to pull yourself into healing. Building that energy. So I want to thank you so much if you've tuned into this, whenever it's been. I want to thank you to the one person who tuned in live. And I'll see you soon.